Hello everyone, welcome again to a Cosmic Conversation podcast with me, Marie.
And me, Tina. Today we are going to talk about dreams.
Yeah, we've got some people who are talking about their dreams. We've had some recordings done, haven't we?
Yeah, so this is the third in our
little endeavour of a triology.
dream. Well, do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm going to start with 2 nightmares that I had.
Right.
First one was I was in bed thinking I was awake, but obviously I wasn't. I was dreaming.
All right.
And there was a black shadow on the far wall. And it was getting closer and closer and closer. And I was laying in the bed, and maybe this is like what we talked about in our last one, when you're half awake, half asleep.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that, aren't we? In a
night
bit,
terror
like
thing.
night terrors, yeah.
I think it was a night terror. Because it was started at my feet, and I could feel like that part of my body was dead, like I couldn't move it.
Yeah.
Then it went up to my knees, and then, up to my waist, and then I started saying the Lord's Prayer for some reason, even though I'm not religious and I don't believe in any of that. I just have no idea why. But then, I thought, when it gets to my heart, that's it, I'm dead. And then it got to my heart, and then I woke up panting and saying aloud the Lord's Prayer. But I'd gotten angry with myself because it was drummed into our heads as kids, wasn't it, at school. And I couldn't get these certain 2 lines right. And I was like, what was it? And skipping them. And then at that point I woke up. And after that, I was like, like heavy breathing. Yeah. I couldn't
Was you
go back to sleep.
disorientated, like where you was?
No, because I was in bed. So I was dreaming I was in bed.
Oh, I see.
But it felt like I was awake, like I'd just woken up. But I must have been dreaming, or in that night terrors, that state.
Different parts of the night, different parts of your sleep
Yeah,
cycle.
it was quite scary.
You get night terrors and nightmares.
Yeah. And the second one, I had a dream I was in Harrods. I used to work in Harrods. I think this was before that, though. I can't remember. I used to work in Harrods. I had kids, and they were at home, and then over the speaker there was a 3-minute warning that it was the end of the world.
Wow.
Like a bomb or something. I thought, I can't phone my family, because there wasn't phones like that then, mobile phones. And I thought, I've got 3 minutes, what am I going to do? So, I was in the toy section, which was my favourite bit, and I picked the biggest rocking horse and I started playing on it, sitting on the rocking horse.
Is that your thing about rocking horses?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
You want one now, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's my dream, to have an adult-sized rocking horse. But yeah, I got on one of the biggest, Victorian rocking horses and was playing on it.
But that was it's safe, isn't it? Happy feeling, isn't it?
But then it happened, obviously, and then I woke up. There was just like a blinding light, and I woke up. So I don't know what that was about.
Today we're being brought to you, our location, by the way, is just outside the village of Sazlikoy in Northern Cyprus, in a lovely field, and quite near some beehives.
Yeah.
So if you do hear them buzzing around, you know what's going on. Please continue, Tina.
Well, I just looked up something as well about 3D and 4D world, and obviously how our bodies are in the 3D world. Our brain itself is a living thing that's in the 3D world, but our mind isn't.
Yep.
Because it's not physical, is it? And apparently our dreams can go up to the 11th dimension, whatever that is. But most of the time we dream in the 4th dimension. Because it's closest to ours.
There was a band called The Fifth Dimension.
So self itself, self is an illusion.
Can you explain that?
Self is an illusion, as in the 3D body.
It's an
Self.
illusion. Sorry, I'm just trying to
Yeah,
understand.
self is an illusion.
All right. Never really thought of
I
anything
just
like
read that. Yeah, self is an illusion. Something to think about, to get your mind
The only
going.
reason I struggle with it a bit is because self-actualisation, you get, so the word self and actual.
I
Do
actually,
you know what I mean?
I was just getting a thought about self as in a singular. Like I keep saying, we are all one. So it's like self is maybe like the ego.
Yeah. I've done self-actualisation when I was at college, within counselling. And that's just knowing basically, very, very simplistic, knowing yourself, realising who you are. So when you say self is an illusion, it just doesn't, right this second, it doesn't resonate with me. Maybe I'm thinking wrong.
I think self as in your identity as one person or one consciousness. Like as everybody is, you are you.
Yeah.
And in your dreams, you can be anything,
Anybody.
anywhere,
All right.
anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, in your dreams, I would say, yeah.
You can go, obviously, in 11 dimensions. Apparently, though, we don't remember them dimensions. It depends where you are in your depth of sleep, like with the REM, and
It's
when
REM or if it's not, it's in the light of sleep.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That was a bit deep.
It was just something I read.
No, it's
Self is
good.
an illusion, but it's
Look,
it's
guys, I didn't know
something
what
about.
Tina was going to say, and that's quite good to get a natural reaction, because we do have notes, but sometimes we do come out with gems like them. But now, where did you read it? Just in case it's anything
I just
to look up.
I googled about 3D and 4D. What dimension do we
Oh,
dream in?
okay. So self is an illusion. Okay. So it's starting to make sense now, what you're saying. But yeah, because I know doing self-actualisation is something completely
That's different. Yeah.
But to hear it's an illusion, we're talking about dreams, aren't we? So I've gone in the wrong direction. But no.
So what have
cheers.
you got to put on the table?
Well, what have we got? We have 3 people today joining us, not like in actually joining us, but they've done recordings for us about their experiences with dreams.
Yeah.
So who's the first cab on the rank? Is it Charlie?
Yeah, we should do Charlie.
All right, well, have a listen to this.
So one of the most reoccurring dreams that I had, mainly when I was younger, was of my granddad, and we'd be in a car accident and we'd go into the water, into a lake or something, and the car would be filling up with water. But my granddad would be pulling my seatbelt tight to not let me go. But I don't know why, because I loved Grandad, and I know that Grandad idolised us, so I've got no idea why. I always thought, was it him wanting to take us with him? Like, I just got no idea.
So was this after he passed?
Yeah, of course. But I know that I'm the number 1 child. He used to take me out all the time. He always buy me my little things. Anything I wanted, I was spoiled. And all that stuff I remember. Obviously, I remember some of the bad stuff that he done, as well as I do. But that never really affected me. It doesn't affect me now.
Thank you very much, Charlie, for that. That was quite personal, wasn't it? Well, every dream's personal to you, but thank you for sharing that with us. Your thoughts?
I think because he died and she was having it after his death. It was a bit of an untimely death. He died on the operating table, I think, or before he was going into surgery for liver damage. So she's, you know, looking at it at he's trying to kill her, pulling her under. I think,
I don't think
you know,
that, actually.
water
Yes.
is the connection,
Yes.
isn't it, they say?
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to communicate,
Yeah.
to bridge that
Wanted
communication.
he wanted her with him, not in the sense of you're going to go with
No.
me, you're going to be, you know, unlifed with me. I want to talk, you know, stay there.
Yeah.
I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
Or stay there, I want to be with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, see, I know we made a bit of a joke about like dream meanings, but the ones we were looking at were very, very broad, weren't they? Very, very broad. You know,
The textbook ones,
yeah, the textbook, right. So when we went on about like, because the first one was that, just to recap. The second one was more like the theories from Jung and Freud and some
Yeah.
other people, and this one reminds me if you're going to a psychoanalyst or something that could really put you at ease.
Yeah.
With what, you know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
to, because it's playing on her mind, isn't it, now? And she's thinking, was he trying to hurt me?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, hang on, he was, you know, I was the favourite. I, you know, he liked me or loved me, if you want to say it like that. But I do think, Charlie, from our point of view, that, you know, I think he just wanted you close.
Yeah, I think
Because he
was
went
trying to
before he could,
communicate. Yeah.
he could finish his time with you or say goodbye to you.
Yeah.
You know, and water is that, like, it echoes life, doesn't it, as well? Echoes thoughts and feelings. So, yeah, Charlie, if you know, I think, you know, it was quite insightful.
So who's the next one?
Right, the next cab on the rank is Emma. Let's have a listen to Emma then.
Hi Marie and Tina from Cosmic Conversation. Hope you're both feeling good. I'm just wanting to talk about dreams. Yeah, basically, it's really weird. I cannot remember any of my dreams, but it's like, I know I have them because when I wake up, I remember them, and I might remember them for a day or two, and I don't know if anyone else is like this, but if it's a good dream, when you go back to sleep on the night, you try and get back into that dream, but it never works, and I'd love to know why. But now, I cannot remember any dream. I've always thought about writing them down, like when I wake up, trying to make sense of it, but I just wish I could think of something, but no.
Oh, thank you, Emma. Thanks ever so much for that, all the way from the UK. Just before we carry on with Emma, though, there was something when we was listening to Emma's recording, reminded me about Charlie's dream. And it just come into my head, safety belt. So I reckon he's trying, or warning her
And
about being safe,
yeah,
just to be safe.
not wearing a seatbelt. Yeah.
That is the big one, because she's a bit naughty. She forgets when she pulls off. She puts it on after.
Yeah, with a bing.
But yeah, Charlie, I think maybe Grandad was trying to tell you, be safe, put your seatbelt on. So listen. Thank you again, Emma. As I say, fantastic to hear from you. And yeah, I think this is so common, don't you?
Well, you do only remember your dreams like minutes after, and if you know, don't remember after that, then you've had it. Or
Yeah.
if you don't write them down.
It's within the first few seconds, minutes, isn't
And
it?
it also depends on when, if you wake from your REM abruptly, you
Your deep
remember.
sleep, yeah.
But if you go through the stages, then you don't.
Yeah. But I think Emma's got the right sort of thinking.
She remembered for a couple of days after, though, she said, but then she forgets.
Yeah. So she
She's
is
a bit of a
remembering.
late developing
Yeah.
memory loss.
Well, I think it's a good idea. Take it from us. Get yourself a little notepad. I say get an A4 pad.
Yeah.
Because so you can write all these things down and you can look back at it and maybe it won't make sense when you're writing it. But look back and then you might go, oh, yeah. I think you'll actually have a lot of fun with it. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll have some bad thoughts. Who knows? But there you go. Take a chance and write it down. Right. I'd love to hear from Emma at another point to see if she's got a book and what's come of that exercise. Of doing
If she
that.
starts doing it, yeah.
Yeah. Great. Thank you again, Emma. Oh, it's nice and warm here. Don't know what you're doing where you are listening to this. We've got the great, the one and only Bradley, haven't we, next?
Yep, who is an author.
Yeah, who's been on a previous podcast, one of ours. Have a look back.
Yeah, and he writes horror. So what's coming up?
Yeah.
It's kind of, it relates to writing. It's a bit like me, really. I write horror, supernatural, because it's what I've experienced.
Yeah, and it's your thoughts, your processes.
Yeah.
And, take a listen to our Bradley.
I remember this one recurring dream in our old house where I was repeatedly pulled off the bed and carried into the bathroom where there was this pig entity creature sitting on the toilet. It had these big, wide, uncanny eyes and a weird smile. It was quite uncomfortable to look at, especially for a kid. I was hoisted onto its lap as it was laughing, and then I would wake up in the bathroom with the door locked. And it was a dream that seemed to happen every night. The only way it ever came to an end was when I was one day having the dream, and before I got pulled off the bed, I held onto the headboard of the bed as it was trying to pull me away. And after that, I never had the dream again. But I did start dreaming about this mannequin with no head, where the eyes were on the sternum, and they were like wide and bloodshot. Kind of like if you took the eyes out of a mannequin and like placed them somewhere else on the body. They're just wide-eyed and no eyelids.
Well, Brad.
That was weird.
Weird and wonderful, I'd say. Wow, you were a child and that was happening to you in your sleep.
And what an imagination.
I know, no wonder you're a writer.
Yeah.
But when you said you were looking, it wasn't very nice to look at the pig and all that, and then you said he put you on his lap. Maybe I'm just totally, off with this, but that doesn't sound nice.
No, warning him not to eat bacon.
No, but it doesn't sound nice. It sounds like there was a person who's a pig, a horrible person around him.
But there, it wasn't though.
I'm not saying there was,
Yeah.
but it just seems that, or that's how he sees things when children can get stressed and anxious. Was Brad a nervous?
Completely chilled.
Chilled. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that brain of his really worked. And the eyes in the sternum.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, but wonderful. That's what I'm saying. When you say weird,
Like when I think of he got into Lovecraft like much later in life as an adult, Very
no wonder that appealed to him.
Yeah, but his writing, is like his Lovecraftian style, but so are his dreams.
Yeah, before he
it's
knew
the
about
same-
Lovecraft.
Yeah, same.
Only because we know,
type
Brad,
of
that we can be a
weird
bit more in depth. But Brad, do you know what? That is something that I would really worry if a child came and told you that.
Yeah,
No, and I'm being deadly serious.
yeah.
I'd be thinking, having too much coke at night or something. No, but it can...
Yeah, it could be. He ended up having IBS as
Right.
11 years old.
Was there something he was
Serious
eating or
IBS.
not eating?
Yeah, he was stuck on chicken nuggets and chips as a kid. He wouldn't eat anything else when he was really young. It used to drive me nuts because obviously I was vegetarian and it was all I could get him to eat, and it's probably did mess up his stomach.
They say about eating and drinking things before you go to sleep. Food sources, liquid sources, can make a difference to your sleeping pattern.
He didn't say his actual age then, but I'm guessing it was like primary school age.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know Brad, but you know,
No,
it sounds like he was, when he said a child, it was like under
Yeah.
10, if you get me. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we never had family around, so there was no one else to abuse him apart from me or his sister.
what you mean, verbally, or?
Yeah, no, anything like that, you know.
My only reasoning I went that way, and I'm sorry, Brad, if I've completely got this wrong, it's just that you normally see something that you're not happy with, or a person you're not happy with, in a monster form.
Yeah,
But it could be that he's just got a great imagination, and that was something that happened. But holding the headboard
yeah.
while he was asleep, he thought, if I
Yeah.
hold the headboard, so he's thinking,
So is
how
that
not-
lucid? Yeah,
yeah,
is that
not to
lucid?
not
He
to
was
do this,
taking
not go with
control.
that into the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I wonder if anybody's listening. Well, yeah, in general, is anybody listening? But anybody listening, you know, can sort of resonate with what Brad has said, or Emma, or Charlie. I think we can look at things so subjectively. You know, Charlie, first of all, we thought, like Charlie thought Grandad was trying to hurt her.
Yeah, and he wouldn't in real life.
Yeah. So that's what made me think when we finished listening to her recording, you know.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite, yeah.
Yeah.
And like Brad, it could have been like a bit...
Do you know, yeah, I was just thinking back, the only thing I can think of why I was a pig, because at that age we used to go every day over to the farm because we had the horses over there. We had our own horse in the city farm.
Right.
And that he used to spend his days, you know, especially the 6 weeks holiday, in the farm with the pigs and the cows.
I wonder if they
and
scared him.
maybe he was actually scared of pigs, yeah.
As I say, Brad, maybe we've got it wrong.
But then I had the same with snakes that I spoke about in the last podcast. I love snakes. I love most animals. Not keen on spiders. But everyone's got something, haven't they? Or snails. Can't stand snails. And I dreamt of spiders, see, they're on my brain. Snakes coming after me in my dreams. Quite a lot. Different scenarios, you know, different snakes, but always coming after me, and then I would like try to catch them, but they would try to attack me. So, well, you know, where was that fear in my dreams?
fear
When in reality,
formed into a snake.
I
Like,
loved them.
Yeah.
Love snakes. Yeah.
but we are conditioned, aren't we, by literature, films, TV programmes, everyday things like pigs and snakes. To me, they're everyday.
Mannequins are scary.
Yeah.
And that.
It's like a reverse,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Looking at them in a different way.
Well, thank you everyone who sent in the recordings. From, we were talking about like Brad, it sounds, you know, quite terror-y and nightmarish, doesn't it? Okay, sort of to stay in the same sort of vein as Brad as well. Talk about night terrors and nightmares, which we never really have done, have we?
No.
In this 3-part series that we've done. The technical term for night terrors, or sleep terrors, as they might be known, is parasomnia.
Oh.
Parasomnias. You can have these parasomnias in 2 parts of your sleep, like in the REM.
In the REM or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in the lighter sleep.
Yeah.
Night terrors are different from nightmares. Terrors happen in your deep phases of sleep, and this is usually in the first part of your sleep. So terrors happen within the first 2 to 3 hours. Well, these terrors in it, they can make you like abruptly wake up, sit up.
That's like what I had, yeah.
Yeah, or shock. I call it shock up. Because of this, you may have confusion, or that's why I asked you, was you disorientated? And you wake up, you can wake up screaming, can't you?
Yeah,
Shouting,
Yeah.
sweating, racing heartbeat, and it's like a bit of
I
a panic
did.
attack,
Yeah.
yeah. And what was that from again?
The thing the shadow that was like covering my body, and then I woke up.
If you can imagine about night terrors, or waking up, it's like a space crew is put into hypersleep, into that state, in like, you know, you get in the alien movies and things like that, right? And the hypersleep is controlled by a computer, and the computer wakes them up prematurely. So the chip is triggered in your brain and you get confused and scared, abruptly waken. I don't know how, but you're sort of released from whatever terror you're having. It's a feeling can last seconds or minutes, and up to about 20 to 30 minutes after, then usually people fall back to sleep. But I've heard people either can't get back to sleep or they go really deep again.
Can you imagine being in a coma and not being able to wake up from one? Jeez.
And you're aware, you're able to be aware.
I wonder where you are, if you have a REM stage if you're in a coma, or does it go beyond that?
Yeah, I've never heard anybody really say much about that. Because they say, you know, when I was unconscious, I heard you.
Yeah.
But where was you then? Oh, they're playing the music.
Yeah, when people have been asleep on the operating table, they've been induced into a deep sleep, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then they've come out of their body and seen themselves being operated on.
The only out-of-body experience I had was I was having a panic attack. I was being accused of something I hadn't done.
Awake?
Yeah. But this is the point. This is what I'm trying to like relate to that out-of-body experience, is that it seemed I was at the side of myself and I could see, and I was going to myself, tell them what they've done, what they've been up to. You know you didn't do that. And then going, calm down, the truth will come out.
It's your higher self.
Honestly, I know that happened, and actually the truth did come out, and but that's a long story, but it still wasn't believed. But the point being is that I was saying to myself, you're going to be all right. So I wonder if that happens when you're asleep. But terrors can be dangerous because you can hit out as well, or walk. Now, we haven't talked about sleepwalking, have we yet?
No.
Right, yeah, you can walk and do things without knowing exactly, without knowing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie, she's got up, sleepwalked, and I remember once she tied her granddad's shoelaces together, like the left and the right one.
Have you seen that woman on YouTube?
Yeah.
And her name escapes me.
Yeah.
And she's made an absolute fortune, a living, out of showing her sleepwalking.
Yeah.
And actually, it's quite funny. I don't think it's funny for her, but at times, but it is. And she induces that, though. This is the thing about, and she's quite open about it.
Yeah.
And if she eats cheese,
I'll say it's true, sort of.
she's. What was it they say about cheese? It keeps you awake.
No, it gives you nightmares.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't know why I couldn't remember that.
But it would be milk.
Yeah.
Then,
So I think she says that I do eat things to make this happen,
Yeah.
because then it gets filmed,
Yeah.
and then you get the money. Fair play to her. But have a look on YouTube. It's this woman. I think if you put sleepwalking in,
Yeah.
she'll come up.
Yeah,
She's one of the
top.
biggest ones. Fair play to her. Well done.
Yeah.
But this sleepwalking and night terrors and all that, it's more prominent, I would say, in children.
Yeah, I've read
Yeah?
that.
Yeah. There's like, so much percentage of children, but I'll be honest with you, it's only a very small percentage of adults, they say. And I don't know. I don't agree. We're talking about night terrors or nightmares. I haven't got that.
Or sleepwalking.
Sleepwalking, yeah. I mean, people, and you shouldn't wake people up when they're sleepwalking,
Why do they say that?
because you can put them into that panic. They can lash out at you because they don't know. Like, last thing you knew, you were saying good night to your dog, or good night, darling, see you in the morning, and then suddenly you're standing in the front garden and somebody's going, come on, Tina, wake up, and you're going, what the
Yeah.
You've just put that person into a really bad situation. I suppose you can talk to somebody. I've seen that. And you can just say, come on then, let's go back in, or would you want a drink? But not to wake them up. Would you like to lie down and have the conversation with that person in that state?
Yeah. But
Don't
it's
wake
weird
them up.
though, they can be dreaming and communicate at the same time.
I know.
It's very strange. But yeah, that happened to my ex.
Really?
He was asleep,
Yeah.
dreaming that I was landing a plane and I was
Oh, yeah,
speaking
you
to
said,
him.
yeah.
He was asleep. I was laying in bed and answering him. And then he said, just land the effing plane, will ya? He was like guiding me in.
Yeah.
It
I've
was
said in the previous
hilarious.
one that when we started this, that, My other half has had conversations with me.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
weird.
But sometimes that talking, I don't know if anybody's experienced this, but sometimes that talking, because I've been recorded, right, is absolute gobbledygook. It's not real words. That interests me,
Yeah,
because what are you actually saying?
yeah.
You know, like, I'll give you an example, like, you okay, Maria? And I'm just doing what I, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, you need to go to sleep now to try and get back in that state. Like that.
Yeah.
So what is all that about? You know,
Yeah.
I have said things to people, and it's just my other half was lying there the one night, and I think I turned around and said, "Well, you should be so lucky." and I've said things like that, statements, and I've actually asked for a cup of coffee. And like my other half's gone, go back to sleep, you know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, not go back to sleep, sorry. My other half said, do you want one now? I'm really tired, Bab, you know. And I've gone, make it,
Really?
right? And then I looked over at me and fast asleep. Fast asleep. So, you know what I mean? It's absolutely weird, and it's so funny that you're having a conversation with somebody. It's like a hypnosis.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It's like
Yeah.
hypnosis, yeah.
Have you experienced that, or
What,
with
hypnosis?
Yeah, or actually that sleep, like the hypnosis, like somebody's talking to you, or you're talking to somebody else, and they're fast asleep. Not in a hypnotic
Yeah,
situation.
I haven't been in a dream state talking, as far as I'm aware. Nobody's ever said anything. But obviously with my ex, he was asleep and he was talking.
Nightmares happen in REM sleep.
Yeah.
Nightmares,
Yeah.
not night terrors.
Yeah.
Because it's one part of your brain, and it's in a lighter sleep. Your brain waves are faster, and if you wake up, you're not as confused. So if you notice that, you
Yeah.
can tell the difference. Somebody's having a nightmare and they go, oh, God, blimey. But they can recognise, I've just had a bad dream. But with a night terror, you'd be like, what's going on? What's going on? And
I mean, I've woke up crying
you know.
and had tears in my eyes.
I've woke up
laughing. Yeah.
that's the best one. And you're
Yeah.
laughing and you go, what? I
Yeah.
don't know what I was laughing
Yeah.
at. So, yeah, they say that nightmares happen in the later part of your sleep. So first part of your sleep is front loaded. The last part is lighter. Although saying all this, you can have night terrors then at the end of the sleep. But it's predominantly at the beginning. But remember, your patterns go for about an hour and a half of REM in it. About night terrors, they say in kids, it's lack of brain maturity.
That's it, yeah.
Not
Yeah,
immature.
because it's not developed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's controlling the child's sleep, they do say contact professionals, because they could give the baby some information on when to go to bed, not to eat. You know,
Yeah.
educate the baby to try and get themselves to sleep. You know, don't get on your phones, don't get on your computers when you go to bed.
Never sleep with your Wi-Fi on, like, next to you either.
Good luck with that one, innit? No, in this world, I mean, no.
Yeah.
They say that adults, it's due to stress, depression, anxiety, sleep apnea, pain,
Medication.
alcohol, sleep deprivation. I'd put that back to children, even though
Yeah.
their brains are not mature. Kids are stressed.
Stress on the body.
Yeah.
Whatever stress it is.
Sleep deprivation, that could be because they're not, excuse me, it could be that the
Coke
kids are not going, they're drinking
caffeine.
like soda,
Yeah,
carbonated
yeah.
drinks, and that's what I meant about go to a doctor. So a professional could, or a parent, look it up and have a chat with your baby and say, tell you what, this is what we're going to do, me and you. Yeah, eating, like we said, the drinks and before bed, and getting up. If you get up during the night, that's hard to go back. I mean, you might want to wee. Do you know what I mean?
I get up about 3-4 times to go.
But that's when they say don't have a drink at least an hour before you go to bed. Don't drink after that. Coming back, I've got a little bit on sleepwalking. Again, we've mentioned it, but you can be aggressive. if
Yeah,
woke.
yeah.
So just going back to that point. And this can happen as a side effect of sleeping medication. But somebody could be having sleep deprivation. They've been given sleep medication.
Which
That was
would
hard to
induce,
say. Yeah.
induce it.
Actually, when you get tablets or what tablets you're on, look at the side effects.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
Yeah. But I had a little look as well into people who are living with bipolar. They seem to have more night terrors.
But then it is the brain.
Yeah, here we come
to do
back
with
to
the
it,
brain
yeah.
and the mind, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you need sleep. Everybody needs sleep, but you need a good pattern of sleep when you're living with bipolar. You have your different stages of your ups, your downs. Somebody who was talking about he got bipolar. He said he does play meditation music. Now that's having your phone next to you, which is actually counteracting the fact that you've got Wi-Fi next to you. But he said, I do put on meditation music. That helps me. Yeah, don't be on your phone. What I just said doesn't make sense then.
Yeah, but then if he's listening to meditation music, he don't have to listen to it online.
How does he listen to it?
Download it.
Oh, okay.
So-
And if it's one that works for you,
Yeah,
you're going to play it again and again. And
exactly, yeah.
right, well, we've come to the end of our...
Oh,
I feel tired now. Want to keep? Or you're just bored? Thank you, everyone who's followed the last 3 podcasts of our dream sequence. See what I've done then? After each one, we've spoken to people about what we've done, and they go, oh, such as Brad, Charlie, and Emma. Thank you for taking part, you 3. And anybody who wants to take part in a cosmic conversation with me and Tina, please drop us a comment. If you're listening to us on YouTube, obviously you got the comments there. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or any of the other podcast services, please do. Yeah, like, subscribe, share. Yeah, don't forget, we'll have another episode of our podcast, A Cosmic Conversation, next week. And
every Wednesday.
yeah, on YouTube, and every Friday on Buzzsprout, Spotify, and all the other podcast outlets. We're going to say goodbye now and stay sitting here in the sunshine. We have been brought to you in association with TRNC.
Animal Rescue Family.
You can make a donation to this fantastic charity that rescues dogs by going to PayPal.
SOSdogs2017@outlook.com.
We'll put that in the description below as well. Right, take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time on A
Cosmic Conversation.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.